Welcome to this episode of Win with Violin. My name is Kara Smith. I'm the Senior Director of Channel Enablement here at VIOLIN Systems, and I am joined today by Andrew Martin, President of Stream Networks Incorporated, a high-performance network integration and services organization based in Atlanta, Georgia. At Stream Networks, they've put QV2020 to the test, which is VIOLIN's all-flash platform. And we are here today to talk about some of those customer use cases and success stories. Andrew, thanks so much for joining us today.
Thank you so much for having me on, Kara. Thank you.
Of course. I'm so excited to discuss today's topic, which is all around the success that you and Stream Networks have had in finding solutions for your customers using VIOLIN's QV2020 platform. For starters, Andrew, can you just set the stage a little bit and tell us more about Stream Networks and how you serve your clients?
My pleasure, Kara. Stream Networks is a network integration company. We've focused primarily around high performance or highly resilient, redundant networks for clients, primarily in financial transactions or other type of transaction processing networks. That's been the core of our business for many years, and as a offshoot of that main business, we started to provide custom hosting for clients. This is clients that typically don't need to be in the cloud, but still want to be on-prem, but require very, very high performance. They're typically focused around some type of database or transaction processing services. So that's what we've done. We've started this hosting side, and the VIOLIN is a very important piece of that.
Oh, awesome. So let's jump into the meat of this. So let's start with the customer. Can you tell us about the clients that have been shifted to the VIOLIN QV2020 platform?
Sure. The typical client that is operating within our hosting environment and operating on the VIOLIN are typically a transaction processing client, a client that is running a database, whether it be SQL or Mongo, and some type of processing service, as opposed to just like a typical web service or something like that. It's something that actually requires a high performance backend. And that is clearly one of the reasons why we chose VIOLIN to be part of the mix of the solution.
Great. What verticals are the clients in that have been using the system?
Sure. We have clients that operate in the card processing environment in financial transactions. We have clients that operate based around automobile services, tracking of inventories for car dealerships, among other things. And we have also a vertical based around legal. And legal has a unique requirement because there's a lot of document searching. There is truly a lot of processing on the back end that is required for large legal firms in their document management systems.
Makes sense, and makes sense for the need for high performance in those environments.
Indeed.
So that works. So taking that forward a step, what problems with SQL, Mongo, in these verticals were your customers facing that kind of signified a need for a shift, and ultimately that shift to QV2020?
Sure. Two clients come to mind. One is in that automotive space. With this particular client, they had an extremely long-running SQL query that was measured in hours, and that was an impediment to their doing business. They would kick off a query, and it would take several hours to run and come back with the results. They would have wanted to see that quicker. The other instance is just in the financial transaction processing world. This is card processing. This was just the normal database. We felt that we could see significant changes in both these performance by shifting towards the VIOLIN and off the traditional hybrid storage area network that was running.
Got it. So it sounds like a pretty common problem that we've seen as well, which is, one underlying piece of aging infrastructure or outdated infrastructure kind of is impacting directly that business success and business performance. So Can you explain to us why Stream Networks chose VIOLIN as the replacement for that infrastructure and the solution to these problems?
Sure. We looked at several competing platforms, and we elected to go with VIOLIN. I personally like the focus on NVMe. I've really liked the performance parameters that we saw. VIOLIN is this niche high performance SAN that can really provide a super high density in a very compact space. You know, the QV2020 can grow considerably in only a 2U rack. More importantly, I think it was the future of what VIOLIN holds. It's the promise of building a holistic solution as opposed to a point solution. It's not just the product, it's where the platform will go over the next few years. Kind of a fully integrated that allows us to scale both horizontally and vertically, all built on the VIOLIN platforms.
Great. Well, we really appreciate you allowing us to help take care of your customers' storage needs. So thank you for choosing VIOLIN. So I'm excited to hear the outcome. So we had this problem of performance and, you know, SQL queries running too long. Can you walk us through what the outcome has been for both of those scenarios?
Sure. These two clients specifically, the client with the very long-running SQL query was measured in hours. We migrated them to the VIOLIN, the QV2020, and now the queries are measured in minutes. Significant performance change. In the case of the card processing, the overall 30 to 40% improvement in query times and performance. So there was a big change. And this, we're coming from a platform that really isn't that old, is only 2 or 3 years old. And I think what's really important is in both of these instances, the client did not have to make any underlying architectural changes. We didn't ask them to rewrite the queries. We didn't ask them to re-architect any of their data flows. This was simply moving the storage from a hybrid platform, which was 2-3 years old, to the VIOLIN QV2020 on the back end. So minimal impact to the client, large rewards to the client. So that was our experience with the VIOLIN. We're excited about it. We're excited to see where this is going to go.
Great. Yeah, and as a managed service provider, those results just had to feel good for you and your team to be able to have those conversations with clients and really impact their business like that. Yes. That's great. So thank you so much, Andrew, for cutting some time out of that busy schedule I know that you and your team have and highlighting the success story. We really appreciate you coming on and sharing this with our audience today.
Thank you so much, Cara. We really look forward to working with VIOLIN, and we feel that it's a partner that we can really grow with, and the results speak for themselves. Significant performance changes. Very good. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Andrew. You heard it here first, folks. VIOLIN outperforms the competition yet again with our product offerings. For questions around this topic, any other inquiries around VIOLIN systems or Stream Networks, please email us at winwithviolin@violinsystems.com, and we will see you on the next episode of Win with VIOLIN.